Why does one of the richest people on the planet live in a $31,000 house, drive an ordinary car, and eat breakfast at McDonald's for $3? Why does billionaire Warren Buffett, who manages assets worth hundreds of billions, look like an ordinary grandfather from the neighbor's house? And what does he know that millions of people don't know, chasing status and ostentation every day? The answer is simple. The rich don't spend money to appear rich. They invest it to become even richer. Buffett never tried to impress. He built a business, not an image. He invested in assets, not punts. In this video, you'll learn why the look poor strategy isn't modesty. It's a weapon of those who know how real capital works. Friends, before we start, please like and subscribe to the channel. Warren Buffett started investing at the age of 11. He didn't take out loans for branded suits. He didn't try to look like a successful guy from the cover. He read company reports, saved every penny, lived on less than he could afford. While his peers wanted to seem cool, he wanted to be rich. And he did. Buffett's fortune exceeds $100 billion. But he still drinks Coca-Cola, eats cheeseburgers, and doesn't wear designer clothes. Because he's realized the basic law of wealth. When you look poor, you keep your focus. You're not distracted by external glitz. You don't spend money on unnecessary things. You don't depend on the opinions of others. You think about growth, not about making an impression. He didn't waste energy on external approval because he knew real value isn't in how you look. It's in what you create. Instead of unnecessary spending, invest. Instead of excuses, analysis. Instead of noise, results. And this is what allowed him to build an empire in a world where most people chase the facade and lose the essence. Buffett once said, "If you buy what you don't need, one day you'll have to sell what you do need." This phrase is the essence of the rich man's thinking. You don't have to prove to anyone that you are successful. Success is not sneakers for $1,000 or renting a Lamborghini. Success is when your money works for you, even while you sleep. When you look poor, you're investing in freedom. You're preserving capital. You're giving yourself room to take risks, to grow, to scale. But when you look rich, you're more likely to just spend to hide your weakness behind more brands and unnecessary things. Because a confident person doesn't prove anything. He takes it and makes it. That's the choice of the strong, giving up external glitz for internal growth. A humble appearance gives you an advantage. You become inconspicuous but effective. You don't attract envy, you don't cause unnecessary noise, and at the same time, you do your own thing. This is how real fortunes are built, in silence, with a cool head and calculation. The world works in such a way that people spend more than they earn to impress those who are not important to them. Buffett does the opposite. He saves more than he has to be free of the system. And this is his main secret. The first thing anyone who wants to get rich should do is give up the desire to appear rich. Because show-offs are a trap for the poor. You get into it when you buy something that screams, "Look at me," and the rich are silent. They are building a business. They are buying assets. They look simple because they are confident in themselves. They don't play at external success. They're making a real one. They don't need to be validated. They have facts, figures, and results. Modesty is not a sign of poverty, but an indicator of depth. That's why the rich seem simple. They are so confident in themselves that they don't waste their energy playing into other people's expectations. While some are trying to make an impact, they are creating capital, silently but effectively. When asked why he still lives in his old house, Buffett simply answered, "It suits me." He doesn't need a new mansion to feel successful. His confidence doesn't depend on decor. And this is the main lesson for those who want to become richer. While you're trying to impress others, you're losing. While you're saving for show, you're missing out on investing, and vice versa. When you look poor, you're creating a resource for wealth, because the money you didn't spend on showing off can become your first investment, and that's the path up. Every dollar you didn't spend on showing off is a brick in the foundation of your freedom. These little things turn into savings, and savings into assets. This is how the path up begins, not with showing off, but with discipline. Buffett didn't build illusions, he built a system. And you can do the same if you remove all unnecessary things and start thinking like an investor. Looking poor does not mean being poor. It means thinking like a rich person. It means being able to wait, being able to save, being able to give up the unnecessary for the sake of more. Buffett has not changed his lifestyle for decades because it is important for him not to look, but to be. His money is in stocks, in business, in funds, and not in the watch on his wrist. And if you want to repeat his path, start with something simple. Stop seeming. Stop spending on things that do not bring you closer to your goal. Start saving, investing, reading, learning. Your Lamborghini will still come, but it must be bought with passive income and not with a 30% lease. When you give up the unnecessary today, you buy freedom tomorrow. While others are looking for a quick thrill, you are building a long-term result. And this is what distinguishes the rich. They think not in days, but in decades. Their thinking is set up for scale and preservation. Buffett knew that the most valuable thing is not the thing, but the ability to control your decisions and your money. Buffett is not the only one. The richest people in the world, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Chuck Feeney, they all live very simply, because showing off does not bring dividends. It burns capital, it distracts from the business, and most importantly, it attracts unnecessary attention. When you look poor, you have fewer risks, more freedom, and a clearer mind. You are not in a race for approval. You are in a race for results, and you always win when your focus is not on the facade, but on the foundation. The rich build the foundation. The poor paint the facade. Those who look modest are not distracted by the external game. They are busy with what really matters. Their energy is not spent on proof. It is directed inward, on growth, discipline, and precise steps. Because wealth is not what is visible, but what steadily works behind the scenes. And the less noise around you, the louder the result when it comes. Here's what's important to understand. No one will get rich by copying a style. You won't get rich by wearing the same watch as a businessman. You will get rich by making the same decisions. And that starts not with buying, but with saying no. Saying no to show-offs. Saying no to spontaneous spending. Saying no to cheap approval. Warren Buffett became rich because his thinking from a young age was focused on results, on growth, on the long game. He wasn't afraid to look poor because he knew that one day he would be so rich that he wouldn't need to say anything at all. His assets would speak for him. The power of such people is that they don't scatter their attention. They don't prove anything, they act. Their main goal is not to seem, but to be. And while most people spend money on their image, they invest in education, skills, and assets. They know that wealth is not a facade, but a foundation. And he who builds in silence will one day surprise everyone with a result that is impossible to turn away from. How much money do you think you could save if you stopped trying to appear successful? Write your opinion in the comments. If this video was useful for you, give it a like and share it with your friends.